name's Kim. I'm the Senior Information and Research Officer at the Evangelical Alliance, and we've had a library information system for about 7 years with one supplier, and then I, without any warning really, realised we were going to have to change supplier because prices were going to go up dramatically, and I didn't think it was worth what we were being asked to pay. The thing that was irritating me most was the fact that it was quite difficult to get to speak to anybody if we had any queries or problems. We always had to fill in online forms or just speak to somebody who would just take notes. We could never actually get direct to speak to anybody who could solve the problem, and that was really frustrating because sometimes our problems are really quite straightforward, just quick questions really, and we just had to fill in forms all the time to get them answered. My previous product I found was developing into something which was quite big and inflexible, and what I found with the Bailey Solutions little library system was that you can start off small and buy additional modules if you need them. It's very flexible, so it suited somebody who's got a very small library collection like I have, but if you needed to, and if my collection grows, then it can expand with me. I first heard about Bailey Solutions, I think it was at a CILIP event for library solutions suppliers, and I was quite interested at the time, but we weren't ready then to change. So I had their name in my mind, and then when I knew that we were going to need a new supplier, I had a look on their website and I saw that they'd got a new product called Little Library System, and I thought, wow, this sounds really good. So I made contact with them straight away, and very quickly I had a trial up and running. It was really within a matter of hours that I was able to actually have a look to see how it would work for me. I felt really quite excited that this company were proud of what they'd got and were happy for me to actually have a look in detail at it without any commitment whatsoever. So I was able to add things to the system, to play around with it, see how things would look in our setting without, as I say, any commitment whatsoever. This was an easy company to deal with. People were very friendly. I could speak to a named person if I had any queries, and if they weren't available, they would ring me back very, very quickly. So I just felt that this was a company that was keen to have my business and keen to help me find what I really needed and something that was going to work well for me. The number one reason why we wanted to move to the little library system was that it was really good value. We could do everything that we did with our previous system and possibly a little bit more, but the price was going to be much lower, and importantly for me, the company were always going to be there for me to be able to ring them and to talk to them if I needed help with anything. It was a bit of a daunting thought to go over to a completely different system, but I had a quick introduction for my trial, and then throughout the trial what I did was I was able to speak to Penny Bailey, talk about anything that I wasn't sure about, and she spent quite a bit of time on a one-to-one introduction for me, and then there was also a webinar that I could join in with just after we'd gone live, so both of those things were really useful. It was a bit of a challenge for us getting the data out of our old system to transfer over to Bailey Solutions, and then when it arrived with them we realised there was going to be a bit of work that they needed to do to make sure the data would appear fully and in the right place in Little Library System. So they were really good about sorting that out very quickly for us, as we were on a very tight time schedule. I'd already given notice for the old supplier, so we really needed them to do the work quickly, which they did, and there were a couple of other little queries as well, and again they were solved really quickly, and they kept me up to date with what was happening and who was dealing with it as well. The benefits to us of having the little library system mainly are that it's very easy to use, so I can make it available for all of my colleagues. They can look things up themselves if they want to, and For me, for the archive side of things, I'm able to produce customised lists of things really easily, and that's really helpful for inquiries. If you're unsure about whether you should try the simple little library system, what I would say is why not give it a try? Because you can get a free trial and you're not committed in any way, there's not really a lot to lose by giving it a try.